church, and when I was 9, Joshua, Ronald, and Eric spent the night at my house while they were performing in town for a couple days. It was incredible how excited they were to see such a loving home, to take a warm shower, and to even have their mother read them a bedtime story. Although they only spent a mere 24 hours with my family and I, the effect that they had on our lives will last a lifetime. At the time of their stay, I just thought it was exciting that I was having a sleepover with children from a different country. However, as I look back on that experience, it really affects the way I perceive happiness. You see, these children were taken from tough, poor, starving backgrounds, but this Christian African choir took them out of their stressful homes so they could sing in a powerful choir to raise money for a college education. Although they are far from home, although they may be orphans, although all they possess is able to fit inside of a single duffel bag, Joshua, Ronald, and Eric are some of the happiest kids I have ever met. Why? Because contrary to most, they look for happiness in the right places. Today, I wish to motivate all of you to also look for happiness in the right places. Dependence on God and gratitude. So I'm sure you're all thinking the same thing. What does this person even know about happiness? I mean, she's never had the chance to be unhappy. She's just a 15-year-old girl who doesn't have to worry about her next house payment, has never been abandoned, has never lost her job or a loved one, has never been truly heartbroken, and even gets to do school in her pajamas. Well, let me assure you, I have gone through the dark times where I'm fed up with everything and just want to give up. In fact, when I was 9, I started going through what I called weird worries. I was essentially obsessing about the silliest things that I thought were simple. Since I'm a pleaser and a perfectionist, I always hated it when my parents got confused or upset about my worries. I felt so guilty that I couldn't wait to go to bed at night because then my brain was shut off and I loathed waking up in the morning to another day of constant anxiety. I ended up going to counseling for a little while, and that seemed to calm things down for a bit. But unfortunately, last spring, my weird worries came back on an even higher level. It was the hardest part of my life because I felt like such disappointment and embarrassment that I was putting my parents through my obsessions again. It was awful. I felt alone. I wasn't really enjoying life. Then I realized what the problem was. I was depending on myself to overcome my worries. What I really needed to do was depend on God. So I finally begged Him for His strength, depending on Him and handing Him my worries once and for all. This time not taking them back. You know what? Now I'm happy. Now I'm at peace, all because I rely on God. Some of you may be undergoing a traumatizing experience that's difficult to recover from. Or you may just be mad at God and think He's forgotten about you. But He hasn't. In fact, the end of Hebrews 13:5 states, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." Don't give up on God because He will heal your wounds. He will give you the strength and the comfort to overcome life's trials. He will make you happy. All these things He did for me, He can also do for you. Don't you see a pattern here? The African children depended on God. Now they finally have peace, have college educations. I relied on God and finally have peace in my heart. You see, depending on God is vital and is crucial to true happiness. What about the people who are already depending on God, who already have God in their lives? Why do they still have bad days? Simply because God puts trials in your life for a reason. To make you stronger Christians and better people, because trials do shape you, teach you, make you who you are. God also puts obstacles in your life so you have a reason to depend on Him. When you think about it, if life was perfect, there wouldn't be any need for Jesus or salvation. So when these bad days come and you're struggling to be positive and happy, try being thankful. In an experiment run by Robert A. Emmons, he took several participants and divided them into 3 groups who were all required to write in a journal. The first group wrote down 5 things in the past week, which they were thankful for. The second group wrote down 5 hassles that annoyed them, and the last group wrote down 5 events which were either positive or negative. After the people did this for a total of 10 weeks, it was recorded that the group who focused on their blessings were 25% happier happier than the ones who focused on their household. As you can see, if you literally just count your blessings, you will be so much happier. As a matter of fact, people have been noting lately that I'm so peppy and cheerful, but that's honestly because when you pray and count my blessings, at least once a day. Trust me, my alarm jolts me awake at 7 in the morning, reminding me to get up, do my chores, and endure a long, hard day of school. I'm not always a happy camper. But if I just lay in my bed and think, okay, I'm thankful for the good sleep I just had. I'm thankful that I even have a bed to sleep in. I'm thankful that I have the ability to work out, practice piano, practice speech. I'm thankful that I even have a dishwasher to wash my dishes. I'm thankful that my mom sets aside enough of her precious time each day to school me at home. By the time I've gone down the list, I've either fallen back asleep or I'm just ready to start the day with an attitude of gratitude. Now I encourage all of you to try out this method when you wake up tomorrow morning. But keep in mind that the one blessing which really should make you the happiest person alive is the fact that God has given you another chance. He's chosen to wipe your slate clean every morning. He has given you eternal life and salvation through the death of his only Son. That alone should make you overflowing with happiness. And the exciting thing is, when you become more thankful, you will automatically become more happy, because that will help you realize all the blessings you actually have. I challenge you to think about the smiles that the African choir children have, even though all they possess is able to fit inside of a single bag. I challenge you to accept